Welcome back to another episode of Plants by Jasmine. If you're new here, I'm Jasmine, and today we are actually at Echter's Garden Center here in Arvada, Colorado, and I just kind of take a peek. I've been to Tagawa Gardens, which is in Parker, Colorado, and I always have such a good time there, so I'm interested to see what they have. Let's go see. It's already super cute and they have supplies and things like that, so I'm super excited about lots of stuff. Let's go find plants. So indoor plants. Not that I necessarily need to buy another plant, but I definitely want to. These are so nice. Dracena. Peace lilies are super toxic to cats, so you'll never see those in my house. Little ferns. Something that I haven't gotten into are begonias yet, but they're super beautiful. And so many bonsais, which are so cute. Some nice ivies, which I never get because I kill. Which some people can put an ivy in their house and it survives, but I just think that they need a lot of light to be inside, and I just don't have it. So, some pothos. Those freaking transcantias, man. They look so good here, but I cannot keep them alive. Some philodendrons. These look really nice. But I'm not in the market for any more pothos or prayer plants. They do have a lot of succulents though, and a lot of cacti. This guy is so cool. The wacky cactus. As you guys know, I am trying to grow my cactus. Wow, that guy's cute. I'm trying to grow my cactus collection, so maybe we'll go home with a cactus. I'm actually looking for something very specific, so I'm gonna see if I can find it. Some Hoyas, some tiny Hope Hoyas and Carries. These are ficus, which I don't have a ficus yet, but I think that they're super beautiful. And then of course your rubber tree, which maybe today's the day that I get into the ficus. So really the reason why I'm here is because recently I made a mistake. Mistakes happen, and that's okay. But I used I think I might have found it actually. So I recently made the mistake of calling my Alocasia Black Velvet a philodendron. So I wanted to come and find the philodendron so that we could tell the difference. So here's the Philodendron Gloriosum. I might pick one of these up just so that we can see the difference between the two of them. I used my plant identification app and it was very wrong. So it happens. The Philodendron Billy is officially on my list. Look at them, they're so beautiful. And then also there's this silver streak that I just find super gorgeous. Oh my gosh. So I'm also gonna pick up this really cool cactus because look at that guy. He's so cool. So I just got out of Echter's. I feel like I'm just saying their name wrong, but it's such a beautiful nursery. I really loved it a lot. I also got to meet a couple of really cool people in there, and I was super hoping that I could just ask them a couple questions, but some of us aren't super down to be video recorded, and that's perfectly okay. But I did get to meet Casicha, who was really cool. Right now, her favorite Hoya is the glop something. I'll show a picture right here because I was like, I don't even know what that is. But once I saw it, I was like, oh, I do recognize that plant. I just didn't know that's what the name was. And she's really cool. She has a small business, actually a small plant business, and she started working here because she wanted to learn more about the growing of plants in a nursery setting, which I thought was really cool. But definitely will be back because I think it's just a beautiful place to be and completely different from Tagawa Gardens, which is another nursery here in Colorado that I like. I did get a couple of plants, but once I get home, we'll talk about those. So we'll see you soon. Made it back from the nursery. Finally, I took a little siesta and just relaxed for a little bit and did a couple of things I needed to do around the house. But I'm back. That's besides the point. I'm super excited because a few weeks back, it was probably in May, I think, I actually made the mistake and said that this beautiful plant here, the Alocasia Black Velvet, was a Philodendron Gloriosum. What happened is, I'm learning. I'm new at this, and that's okay to make mistakes, but I think it's very important to own up to them when I make a mistake. And I just don't want to just delete everything and pretend it didn't happen, right? That's not what I do. But I want to show you guys mistakes happen and we can correct them. Second is, I used my plant, my plant app to identify this plant. And I don't know if it was just the sunlight or what it was, but it told me up and down that it was the Philodendron Gloriosum. So I'm excited to say today I have the two of them to compare and then a little friend to talk about later. This is my Alocasia Black Velvet. And there are a few things that I think are important to know about the Alocasia. Is you can see that they're darker, more velvety leaves. The bands, I'm not sure what these are called, but I'll figure it out. These bands are a lot thicker and more prominent. They also give more of a dark green and behind purple color, which I think is really pretty. And I think that they need a lot more water than the philodendron does. This is just my speculation based on this particular plant and my knowledge of my other plants as well. So it seems to be doing fine. I think it got a little dry. I traveled last week and it just probably needed a little more water because I ended up losing a leaf and the others look a little bit sad, but it is poking out a brand new leaf here. Versus the Philodendron Gloriosum, you can see that it has more of a narrow leaf compared to the Alocasia. You can see that this one's a little more broad and round, where this is a little bit more narrow. You can also see that the color is different. This is a lot more bright green. Although it still has the velvety leaves, it's not as prominent as the black velvet, which makes sense probably where it got its name. Then, although I don't know a ton about this plant, I am going to treat it very similar to how I treat my other philodendrons, is making sure it has adequate amount of light and that it stays semi-wet. I don't let them necessarily dry out like I would my Hoyas or my cacti, more so than Hoyas obviously, but I do let the first inch or so get dry before I give it a good rinse of water. So that's pretty much how I'm gonna treat this, but I'm really excited to see the difference between the two of them because this was something that was really stressing me out. And when I say that I researched, I was reading articles from different universities, different research facilities. I was also reading, what are they called? Databases on taxonomy. I was having so much difficulty understanding the difference between the two. And the biggest thing that I found was the color-ish and the shape of the leaf-ish. I think at the end of the day, what I learned from this experience is to research my plants better before I put it online, and then also don't always trust the app that I'm using because it's not always gonna tell me exactly what it is because it may not know, because different factors play into the photo that you're posting on there for it to research. So I'm excited regardless to have this in my collection because I think it's a very beautiful plant. I've seen them bound to a stake and their leaves get really big. So I am encouraged, and I do know that this one is a climber. And so I'm excited for it to get bigger, but for now it's just gonna hang out over there by my greenhouse away from my other plants just to ensure it doesn't have any bugs, and then I'll treat it real good before. And now that I'm looking at the leaves, I didn't really look at them very well before bringing it home. So I wish I would have done that. But I'll just make sure it doesn't have anything like scary on it. I don't think that it does. I think it just needs to be cleaned because it came from, I literally got it today. But it's really cute. I'm happy that it's in my collection, and now that I have them both, they're very different. Also, I just want to give a huge shout out to Kim from the Denver Plant Club because she's the one that called this out. I had a whole little thing about this plant, which it still applies to this plant. They contain a certain type of toxin that is obviously toxic to cats specifically. So if Lazy or Honey decided they wanted to take a munch on this, it releases these types of crystals that are elongated and they create pain. They almost sting the tongues and the throat and the gums and everything like that, so that they don't get bit again. So it's just a really cool defense mechanism. I'm trying to remember what it was called. It's some type of oxidate. Anyway, they both have it. So I wasn't wrong with the information I was providing. I was just identifying the plant wrong. But regardless, they look really cute beside each other, and I'm excited to have grown my collection a little bit more. Other plant that I got, I had 20 bucks that I was gonna spend. I spent $26. It's fine, $6 more. I'll just take it away from something else I wanna buy later. I think Maisie's coming to hang out. What's up? How's it going? Anyway, I ended up getting this really cute barrel cactus. If you've been here for a little while, then you know that I have been growing my cactus collection, and I've been considering putting them outside because it's been pretty warm here, and I think that they would enjoy the light that I get on my balcony. But I just got a really cool barrel cactus. It's super fun, and I'm excited to have it part of my collection as well. So that's pretty much a wrap of my experience over at Echters. I think I'm saying their name wrong, but it was really great. They're in Arvada, Colorado, and I also got to meet a really cool individual, and I will plug up all of her information down below in the description so you can go check it out. She has a plant company as well, which I thought was really cool. So anyway, so I just wanted to say thank you again so much for joining me for another episode of PBJ, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow, etc. Find me on my other social medias. Otherwise, appreciate it. See you on the next one. Bye.